Okay, so we spent the last video talking about a kind of related subject to this, which is fantasy football. So this week, for Liege-Bastogne-Liege, we're going to talk about bookies' odds. And why? Because they're bullshit. Or at least the winners' odds are. Put it this way, think about it this way. Skjelnoser, he's 26 to 1. What that means is, officially, that if you ran this race 100 times, he would win about 4 of them. Do you believe that? Of course not. There are only 3 riders who are anything other than a massive outsider, but they can't set the odds realistically, because if then the unthinkable did happen, they'd lose far too much money. So maybe from a Velogames perspective, it might be wiser to divide the race into 2 races. After all, I suppose it says Liège twice, so we can do what we want. The first race is between the big 3, and it is a big 3, however much Alex tries to make Schmidt happen. And on that, I guess you just have to choose your favourite 1 or 2. And then your second race is a race for those top 10 places. And the thing is that the dynamics that determine that race are different, or are very often different, to the dynamics that determine the winner. So last year, for example, you had 14 credit riders like Velasco, Thibaut Nace or Axel Laurence, who, being better sprinters, came in the group behind Van der Poel and whoever else, but managed to beat supposedly better climbers who suit this race better, like Buitrago or Izagirre. But then on the other hand, you get riders like Bardet, who in 2024 came second after a clever little attack out of the chasing group, or maybe Lutsenko, who I think came 8th perhaps, and they were about 16 or 14 credits each. And what they have in common is they were both over 30. Those riders with both the wiliness, the experience, but also the long miles in the legs that can make them truly effective on these monuments. And who knows, you've got some really tempting 8-point riders out there, like young Leo Bizio or Alessandro Pinarello, who's been on an incredible form of making a breakthrough. But can you be sure that those younger riders are going to be able to go the distance, or will they fall by the wayside while someone pushing 35 steps up? So yeah, I think just compartmentalise your thinking a little, and Liège-Bastogne-Liège Velogames should just be a walk in the park. Speaking of which, some kid was just ringing his bell at me on his bike, and he seemed to think that that meant I was actually obliged to get out of the way. I'll leave it up to you to decide whether that's making me biased against youth in this race.